because my little brother, in which we're doing this documentary for, Douglas Robinson, your death will not be in vain.
He was a heck of a great dude.
And I love Doug. Doug loved me.
Just being around him, he had a good spirit. He was a healing person.
They are there.
Get SROs back.
When you give to the poor,
should not be forced out of their neighborhoods when it goes through a period of transformation.
Because there are too many people who are losing their homes to taxes because they can't pay a $1,000 tax bill.
What it do? It's your boy Big Snoop, D-O-double-G, Chicago, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
But there's a long tradition of these types of voices of conscience. So I just immersed myself in the world of St. Sabina and spent time with Father Mike and his peacekeepers and the community there and tried to learn as much as I could.
We love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
You talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, you know, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
My participation is only because of Mr. Spike Lee, our leader, our director, and he reached out to me and blessed me with the opportunity to be in this film and said that his mission was to save lives in the south side of Chicago.
I'll just say like this. First of all, give you the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. I started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, let me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
We are more than that. We are more than that. We're greater than that. And I feel like in places like this, or Chicago, or whatever you want to call it, the hood, whatever you want to call it, like, it's too much attention dwelled on the negative.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
Hi, we're from Empire, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
So how long have you been standing here?
Not too long, like an hour. So we're moving in fast. This is a good sign.
Yo, what's up? It's your man Tony Schofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
Latifah, and you're watching CTV on the Higher Learning Network. Yeah,
Well, happy birthday. Well, my brother's birthday is October 13th, and my sister's birthday is October 26th, so you're right in the middle.
I'm in the middle.
You're right in the middle.
I'm in the middle of it.
So happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday to your brother and sister.
Yes. And congratulations on the redemption of a dog. Now, let me tell you very briefly a story, 30-second story. I was not happy with rap when it came in because it put me out of a job. Lamont and I both were working at WJPC, owned by Johnson Publishing Company. And we were doing Dusty's, right? Yep. And they changed the format to rap. So we were out of a job, so I was not happy with rap at all until I heard Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Say that.
And that made it all right with me.
Say that.
And please say hello to my husband, Tony Holmes. My cameraman couldn't be here today.
Hello, what it do, Tony?
And to my other cameraman, Will Johns. He's watching too.
Still, Will, what's happening?
Yes. And we're all big fans of you, and I appreciate the work that you do in rap because it wasn't all nasty, funky, killer, B-I-T-C-H, all of that. So I know that came from your grandmother, but what gave you the gumption to move forward with that when everybody else was doing just the exact opposite?
Well, I believe that I was raised off of great music, and I wanted to make great music. And coming from the gangster era, it was a certain way that you had to be. But I was going to be different. I was going to have melody. I was going to have singing. I was going to have fun on my records. I wasn't going to just be mad. I wasn't going to be screaming or hollering. I was going to be in pocket to where it reminded you of an R&B singer. You know, it reminded you of an R&B song where that man would come on talking in the beginning, and then the words would come on. And then you could understand it, and then you could feel it, and you could groove with it. That's the kind of music that I grew up on, and that's the kind of music that I wanted to make.
How much of your music, how much input did you have on that, in the music that's in that play?
The input of the music in the play, I had a lot to do with it, but Jakari is one who loves to create music based off of scenes and moments. So a lot of the original music he created, and we had somebody write, and he had the right mind state on what he wanted. But as far as like my songs, and when we get guest rappers or guest artists to perform, that's my criteria as far as picking the right songs for that moment and picking my songs that fit the script, that fit the time. Because it's different songs and it's different modes, and the way we got it right now is so dope, it's so fly. I really want people to come and see this because it's so hard to explain how good this is.
I remember when you were having some challenges in your marriage, and you talked about that openly, and how you are indirectly teaching the younger brothers it's not what you think it is. It's not about the rump shaking. I mean, even it is about the rump shaking, but you have a family. You have planted seeds, and you need to work with those. You need to nourish those seeds. At what point in the game, so to speak, did it dawn on you that there needed to be a change, and you made that change? And what was that change?
It was a lot. It was a whole bunch of changes. I mean, a whole lot of things that happened that forced me to change. A lot of them were life and death situations, losing dear family members and losing friends, and just respecting life more, and learning what it is to live and what to live for. We get clouded sometimes with success and fame and money, so it's just a matter of going back to your roots and not being money driven, but being spirit driven. And once these types of moments kept happening for me, it's like they keep happening for a reason. They're happening in threes, so I need to fix this or either I'm gonna get fixed. So I don't believe it was one isolated moment. I just think it's the test of time.
It's your boy Big Snoop, D-O-double-G, Chicago, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
And a test of time has brought you to where you are today with this play, Redemption of Dogg, Eric Benet, Tamar Braxton, a lot of the other people I can't even, there's so many of them. I'll let you tell the audience who they are.
Omar Gooding.
Oh yes, Omar.
Demetria McKinney. Latoya London. Just to name a few.
All top actors and
Hello.
actresses.
I mean, and they sang, they act, they bring a lot of intensity to the stage. It's necessary. They're telling my story, and it's so dope because sometimes I just want to jump out of my body and just sit in the audience and watch it because it's that good.
And sometimes we just want to jump out of our bodies and just be Snoop for a day because Snoop
He's living his best life.
Snoop is living his best life. I want to thank you for the continuation of being the real brother that you are, because so many get to Hollywood and they just lose it. And the fact that you have Jacarius Johnson and Snoop Dogg present Redemption of a Dogg, a stage play, that says a whole lot about your character, brother.
Thank you, sister. I mean, I love being in company of great people. Like I was telling one of the guys earlier, I love being the greatest dynamic duo sidekick. I don't care who you put me with. I'm gonna do my part, but I love being with people that are greater than me because it forces me to be greater than I am. And connecting with Jacarius is only gonna force me to do great things because he is nothing but greatness.
And you had something to do with the writing of this play too, didn't you, Doc?
What I did was I gave him some insight on parts of my life that he could touch because in the beginning, my team was telling him, well, we don't want you to write about his life because we're gonna do his biopic and we don't want to affect that. So I had to call him and say, look, check this out, cuz this is my life. You can do whatever you want to do. Why don't you do X, Y, and Z? And then he went and just, he knows me. He knows how I was brought up. And it's like, you don't have to talk long to get it. How he involved God in the play and the spiritual words in the ministry. And then he kept it gangster and it's hardcore. And it's, I mean, he didn't miss a beat.
Now, I know you are in so many ventures. I love your show with Martha Stewart.
Oh, thank you.
I love the show that you do with the news bit.
GGN.
Yes, the GGN. I was like, wow, this brother got a news show. Okay.
And I started that on my own. Just like what she doing with that.
Yes.
I started that on my own, and then I did like 200 and some episodes. Got to deal with YouTube. They got to deal with Disney. Long story short, now the GGN is about to become a movie for Netflix.
Really?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So
because it's a hard time getting on Netflix.
No, hear me though. But I'm saying I worked it from where she is with that phone, having somebody talk to me like this, to me gradually doing 245 episodes non-stop. Non-stop. I broke the Jeffersons, Good Times. I did research. I wanted to know who had the longest black TV show that ran consecutively. And I believe it was like the Jeffersons, and it was like Martin and all that. I just was coming after all of them.
Oh my goodness.
To where the networks picked it up and said, we want to give you a deal because we see your hard work from a perspective of not having any money, but just doing it from the passion and the spirit. So I want to say that to the people at home who don't have money, who don't have fame or success. You can do it. If you got a phone or a camera, and you got something interesting, put your stories together. You can make it happen. The world that we live in nowadays, people believe what they see, not what they hear.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening.
Hi, my name is Julie Myrestaw. I'm with the American Heart Association, and we have been up to our ears in sweetened beverage tax, so I so much appreciated the 5-minute meditation today that allowed me to get back to my center, take a few deep breaths, and really focus on what's important.
Shalom and good God morning. And thank you for joining me today on blogtalkradio.com, The Female Solution. It's your Monday morning mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Mindfulness stress release coach. I'm just here to make your day better.
I am here at the Westside Administrative Coalition, and I just experienced the meditation with Zelda, and I am amazed. Came here a little bit overwhelmed, but now after that meditation, I tell you, I'm feeling calm, I'm feeling happy, and I just want to say thank you so very much for that little bit of 15 to 20 minutes of meditation. It works, and thank you so very much.
Hey, this is Bill Walsh with the Power Team, Success TV Network. I am so honored that I have an amazing speaker, a gifted author that literally is taking the world by storm with her message. Zelda Robinson, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Gosh, we're so honored to have you on the show. So maybe you could share with some of the promoters around the country and individuals who are thinking about booking you to speak, just a bit of your background would be great.
Well, I worked 20 years in radio. I retired from radio. But that radio career turned into motivational speaking.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, I got into television. But there was always something in the back of my mind. You've got a message. You need to go back and share that. So I started back, and this is the place to be with the International Power Team so that I can get my message across.
And so when you do speak at a lot of events, right, what are a few of your main speaking topics that you like to share with audiences?
Well, the main topics I like to share are for entrepreneurs and for business owners who have a daily struggle of thoughts coming into their head about what they can and cannot do. I have a mindfulness training program, a system that will help you get to where you need to be.
And I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs face that.
Oh.
I'm sure a lot of small business go through that challenge. And of course, if you're listening today and you're looking for a great speaker of the book, she owns this space, she lives in it every day, and she's helping a lot of individuals have that big breakthrough. So what would you say when you do and you go speak at these events, what would you say is the one big takeaway the audience walks away with? If there was like an aha moment that they would have that they'd say, oh my gosh, I learned so much from it. This is one of the big things that I learned.
Well, one of the greatest gifts that I have is mindfulness, and it's learning how the brain functions so that you don't beat up on yourself, all those negative thoughts that you have. You learn how the brain functions and how to not cover up, but replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. And there's a whole process. It's a system.
That's pretty awesome. I know you travel around, you're willing to speak globally, whether it's local, national, regional, it doesn't matter, you're there. I know you're excited about getting that message out there. What is the best way for promoters watching this video today, or someone's watching the video, that they could get some more information about you?
Just look at the website at the bottom of the screen. That's how you can contact me.
That's awesome. And all you got to do, once again, if you're looking for a great speaker, she's definitely the one. You'll love her at your event. And I can tell you that I'm excited to see you change even more lives.
Thank you so
Congratulations. Thanks for being on the Power Team, Success TV Network.
To be here. This has been a week where I have been under a lot of stress just with my to-do list so long and my schedule is so full, and the meditation this morning was just wonderful. I could feel the Spirit of God all through this facility, and Sister Zelda, you are just a gift to this community. I want to thank you for this meditation this morning. I feel like I can just walk out of here and take on the rest of this week. And I thank God for you. I thank God for this organization and all the work you're doing for all of us out here working on behalf of our community. God bless you.
I gotta ask you this one last question, because there's so many brothers that's walking around with the Snoop Dogg pants. They're not Snoop Dogg pants, I call them the Droop Dogg pants.
Okay, right, when they pants hang
yeah,
up from.
and they don't know where that originated from. I need you to speak to the young fellas.
Well, we used to sag back in the 70s and the 80s on the east side of Long Beach in California in general. That was a gangbang culture thing. We wore our pants down low, you could see our boxers, and then you would have our rags hanging. But it was so disrespectful the way we looked and the way we carried ourselves that we gradually grew out of that. But when we was doing it, we thought it was cool until the older folks would be like, boy, if you don't pull your pants up, and we got tired of hearing that. So it was like, it was something that we did out of not knowing because it was taught to us. Usually in your neighborhood, you're taught a lot of bad things. Let's say that first and foremost. Until someone comes along and say, I'm gonna challenge the status quo, I'm gonna go against it. I'm gonna pull my pants up. I ain't gonna sag that hard, I'm gonna sag a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna sag at all. I'm gonna wear clothes that make me look like a gentleman and a scholar and do it a little bit different so they can have some intellect on their perception on me. So it's all about your presentation, the way you present yourself too. So remember that part. You're only as good as your presentation. And you only get one chance to make a first impression.
First impressions are everything, and I hope you've been impressed today. Thank you to your publicist, Linda, who made this all possible.
She is the greatest.
To Lamont and to Tracy, who's standing there holding the camera.
Go ahead, Tracy. Look at it. She keeping it all together, too. It ain't shaking. It ain't moving. She got it all in focus. Got her look together, and her hair's extraordinary. Tracy, your hair is amazing today, girl.
Yes, it is, girl.
You hear me?
Thank
I don't
you,
know if it's
sir.
me or I don't know who you did it for, but you did that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Flipped it and dipped.
And thank you, the viewer, for watching. And we'll see you Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on the Higher Learning Network with who other than
Snoop Dogg, and you better get your education on, because ain't nothing like education. The more you know, the more you go. Understand that. Because if you knew better, you do better. I wouldn't be nothing without education. So remember this, higher learning, get you some education.
All right now. Thank you very much.
is Heather Schooler, owner of the company Help Me Finish, and newly developed business billionaire breakthrough system. I want to talk today about my friend Zelda Robinson, who has created this mindful breakthrough system, which is absolutely phenomenal. And you want to know what I learned from it? I learned that I can stop the negative patterns in my life through one simple word: stop. And I think about that all the time. Every time I see a red light, I remember to stop. Every time I see a stop sign, I remember to stop. So even when I'm having a bad day and I can see a stop sign, it'll remind me of what Zelda's taught me. So if you guys haven't taken her program, you need to sign up for her program, because we all need to stop the negative voices in our head, and she's got the tools to help you do it. I'm Heather Schooler, owner of Help Me Finish, and I hope you guys sign up. And when you sign up, have a fantastic day every day, because that's what Zelda's going to teach you to do.